the old library halls, where the dust is thick and the silence calls. Books tell stories of the things unseen, of foxes wild and spirits keen. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Bibles open to verses dark, stories written to leave their mark. The wildlife outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The last of these you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal life outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The past of beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal tales in every spine, haunting truths that cross the line. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Spirits waltz through moonlit air, books fall down as if to dare. Foxes howl in the wooded shade, they guard the truths that time forbade.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. There we go. There we go. There we go. How are we doing on this cold December evening? Excuse me. Let's get the camera on here. How are we doing, everybody? Good to see you. As I said already, what's going on with my glasses today? They're a little crooked. Anyway, but it's good to see everyone. Hello, Stiggs. Hello, Adam. Hello, Thindu is keeping his eyes open, or at least trying to. Hello, Delilah. Good to see you. Sweet Tea, the author of that wonderful song. Hollywood. Good to see you, my friend. Don McHugh, stopping in. Gianni, good to see you, my friend. I'm good. That's very good to see you. Excuse me, my throat is bothering me today. Gerard Stricelli, good to see you. And I think that's it. We're got a low crowd tonight, so we'll go with what we have. What can I say? As you can see, Lenny is decked out in his hat because this is the Christmas season. And this is our first of 3 Christmas shows. Yuletide shows, if you would. And I hope you like him, because I learned stuff that I never knew from researching these. Like, for example, the fact that during the Victorian era, ghost stories were quite commonly a part of the Christmas festivities. Families would gather around and tell ghost stories on Christmas Eve. I thought that was fascinating because, other than the Christmas Carol, what we all know by Dickens, I wasn't aware of this tradition started in England and spread to the States during the reign of Queen Victoria, that people would tell ghostly tales as something to do on Christmas Eve. And that came from the belief that Christmas Eve, much like Halloween, was one of those nights in the year where the veil between the living and the dead could be breached or could be permeated quite easily. So if you're thinking of that, I guess it makes sense that you tell ghost stories on those days. And it could be just for fun too. A good ghost story, as you guys know, is always fun because you're here to listen to them. So I don't have to convince you of that. Yeah, Lenny does look a little drunk, Hollywood. I don't know. Johnny says Lenny looks like a broad I just saw standing in the corner of Maine. Okay. Okay. She must be in bad shape if she looks like Lenny. Whew. Anyway, so going in the tradition of Victorian ghost stories, I did some digging and I came up with a few. In fact, I came up with enough for 3 shows. So this is our first. We'll do one next week and the week after. And then that will take us to Christmas because Christmas falls on a Thursday this year. So the 4th show would be after Christmas. So we'll do something different then. All right, so let's get started. I only have a couple of paranormal things to do at the end, not much today. So this is likely going to be a short show, and we'll see what happens. Right? We'll see what happens here at the library. All right, so let's talk about our first story. Our first story takes place. Oh, before I say that, please click the like button. Before I forget, I always forget to say that. Click the like button. And then do that hype thing after the show if you can. That might help. I don't know. I don't know if it does. They say it does. Who the heck knows? So anyway, so let's do with our first story. Now, 3 of these stories I'm doing 4 today. 3 take place or originate in England or places in England, which kind of goes with the whole thing about the Victorian era. Makes sense, right? This is where the origin came from. So Hollywood, tell us about Lindsay Borden. Oh, Lizzie Borden, you mean? Yeah, we could do another show on that. That's not really Christmas related. That's Boston or New England related, right? We can do that. We can certainly do that. All right. So the first story is The Legend of the Brown Lady of Rainham Hall in England. Now, let me start off by showing you what Rainham Hall looks like. And you'll see that these structures are quite beautiful. They're quite old and quite beautiful. Now, here we have Raynham, Raynham, Rayn Rainham Hall. Quite the stately manor. Quite the stately English manor. And there's a bunch of Stiggs's buddies on the front lawn right there in this picture. So the Brown Lady. So the origin of the Brown Lady story. The Brown Lady is a spirit. And it is said that this comes from Charles Townshend, who was one of the owners of this manor. He married a woman by the name of Dorothy Walpole. And they lived in Rainham Manor or Hall. Now, unfortunately, Charles became very paranoid, and to the point that he was driven quite mad with his paranoia. He was so viciously jealous of Dorothy. Now, Dorothy was said to be quite beautiful and a mismatch, if you would, compared to him. And because of that, that weighed on his psyche. He was constantly jealous and always thought that she would be cheating on him or doing something else inappropriate as a married woman. And it drove him quite mad to the point that he locked her away in this building and would not let her leave. if you can believe that. So, and this was in the 1800s. So I guess you could get away with that to some degree. I don't know. I don't know how, in that during that time period, I don't know how the authorities would operate in that time. But, for suddenly a wife to disappear because she's locked in this manner, who knows? Maybe the story was that she didn't want to leave. Maybe that might be the story that he put outdoors so no one else would question it. But the end result is he locks her in and won't let her out. So she's basically a prisoner in her own home. Hello, Gina. Good to see you. Now, this went on, they say, for years, that she was locked in the manor for years, that nobody would see her. She wouldn't be able to come out. And it got to the point where she would just wander the halls, and people would, from time to time, see her in the windows, whether they are servants or people working outside might see her in the windows. So even when she's alive, she has a bit of a ghostly or creepy atmosphere about her because she's darting in and out of windows, looking sorrowfully from the windows, much like a spirit would. And this went on for quite a few years. And then she suddenly dies from a mysterious illness. And no one knows why. No one knows what caused the illness and it wasn't anything suspected of murder or foul play, nothing like that, but just a mysterious illness, just an illness that took her life. So after she dies, she is buried on the premises. And Charles himself goes completely mad after that and follows her to the grave. So both are gone, and the building passes on to either their heirs or is sold. I don't know exactly what happens to the manor, but their bodies are still there, buried on the premises. Now, when after that, people start to see an image of a woman, well, wandering about the premises, wandering in the halls of the manor, wandering about the windows, looking out the windows, much like she did in life. And it is said that it is the spirit of Dorothy, who they call the Brown Lady. And the reason they call her the Brown Lady is because she's seen wearing tattered brown clothing, which is said which is where what she said, what it is said was that that's all she had when she died, because she never left. She wasn't allowed to leave the building. And eventually her clothing got old and tattered. And this is what she was left with when she died, this brown tattered clothing. And the spirit maintains the clothing that she had at the time. Now, interestingly enough, is that these sites are not seen all year round. And that's why I bring this story up now, is that they're only seen on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And in fact, her spirit is so powerful on these days that people often think she's a real person. They don't even think she's a ghost. They think she's a real person until they get close enough to her. So the manor, and the reason people have sightings of her is because the manor's open as a historical site. So people could go in there. And during the Christmas season, it's decorated. So people might be in there to tour the manor and see the Christmas decorations. And they may encounter the Brown Lady. Now, the Brown Lady is said to be just a mournful spirit that wanders about. She's unhappy in her prison. Her life's prison became her eternal prison because she's still there wandering about. Now, those people that have seen her, that have said they thought she was a real person, did so until they were able to gain her attention. So, in other words, she's a real person. If you think she's a real person, you might engage with her and talk to her. So people might go up to her, and as she turns and looks directly at you, her face will be glowing, and her eye sockets will be vacant, domed, vacant holes of eye sockets. And that would be the striking fear that would be in people from that encounter, not of her in her natural state, but when she looks at you, you see the death in her face. So a not so hostile spirit at all, but a scary spirit in the startling way it appears to people. But only on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day would the brown lady appear in Rainham Hall or Rainham Manor in England. So there you have it. That's the story of the brown lady. She only appears on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And it's quite a sad story that she was, she died a horrible life, a lonely, shut away life. And she dies of a disease and is still wandering the only area she knew for the majority of her married life. Hello, Deb Roberts. Hello, Cinnamon Girl. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in. Sweetie, I know it would be more common years ago. Yeah, burying of people on the property. Yeah, in fact, I don't even think you can do it now. There are laws against it in states like New Jersey. You can't do that. You would need special permission. You'd have to get a permit to do that of some type. And I think that's common in other states as well, that you can't just bury people on your own property. All right. There's only 7 people here. What is going on, guys? Where is everybody tonight? This is not good. We can't do a show with 7 people in the chat. Why am I doing a live show? I'll do pre-records. I don't have to do a live show. If that's the way it's going to be, I won't do a live show. I will just do a pre-record. All right, so that was the first one, Brown Lady of Rainham Hall. All right, let's go on to number 2. Number two is called The Headless Horseman of Roos Hall in Beccles, England. Now, this is outside of Suffolk County in England. So let me show you what this place looks like, because this place is. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get it for you here. Hey, Todd Father, how are you? Nothing's going down. There's nobody here tonight. There's nothing going down. I don't know what's going down. All right. Let's see here. Let's share the screen. Here we go. Okay, we did Rainham Hall. Okay, here we go. This is an interesting structure too. Check this out. Now, this is Roos Hall, R-O-O-S, Roos Hall. It was built in 1583. Now, it's quite an interesting structure. Look at that. It's, castle-like. It's quite a beautiful structure. Built in 1783, like I said, for the de Roos family. Now, why it's called Roos Manor, not de Roos Manor, I don't know. But it's just called Roos Manor, I guess, for short. I don't know. And like I said, it was built in Suffolk County. And this particular place or location has many ghost stories. Many, many ghost stories. And I can do an additional show in the future on the other ghost stories, but I'm just going to stick to the Christmas ghost story that occurs here. So, there we go. I'll keep it up there for a little bit. So the Headless Horseman. Now, we know the Headless Horseman of Sleepy Hollow. This is a little different. This Headless Horseman is actually a driver of a carriage of horses. He's not a military man either, much like the Headless Horseman, not a Hessian or anything like that. But this Headless Horseman is older than our Headless Horseman. Now, on Christmas Eve, people will see often over the years a horse-drawn carriage with a headless driver pull up the driveway or pull up the walkway, whatever you have it, to Roos Manor. And the horseman will get down from his ghostly carriage. He'll open the door, and out will come a beautiful woman. And this beautiful woman will be dressed in 16th century gown as if she was going to a ball, a Christmas Eve ball. And that's basically the story, that this is a reenactment or a recurring ghostly activity of a ball that took place in who knows when, the 1500s, I guess, or the early 1600s, where tragedy must have struck. Now, there's no specific story as to what happened, but as a result, these spirits are residually going through this every Christmas Eve. And it's said that every Christmas Eve to this day, someone will report this occurring. Again, this is a historical site, and it's decorated for Christmas, and it's open on those holidays for people to see the decorations. So there's chances that people might encounter these ghostly stories or ghostly appearances. Now, the creepy part of this particular story is that the woman, the beautiful woman that comes out of this dressed in gowns, dressed in a ballroom gown, that makes her way towards the castle or towards the hall here, is very lifelike, much like the brown lady, very lifelike. People think that she might even, you might encounter her and think that she's a real person, a live breathing person. However, they say that if she were to directly, if she stops and directly makes eye contact with you, you will be driven mad. So there's a risk here. You don't want to encounter the lady that the headless horseman drives to Ruse Manor, because there are consequences. You could go mad. And it is said that over the years, certain people have gone mad from an encounter with the lady of Ruse Manor. So I was disappointed that I couldn't find the origin story of this, as to where, what occurred to create this spiritual legend. But I'm guessing that it had something to do with an accident around the woman, the lordly woman and her driver that was going to this Christmas ball at Ruse Manor, and had an accident, met their doom, and possibly the driver lost his head, and she met her doom as well in the accident. So that's my theory. I have nothing to go on by that, but that would make sense to me as to where these spirits would come from and why they would do this every Christmas Eve. They go walk through this every Christmas Eve. All right, and another interesting thing about this is that the reason they also say that this, an interesting coincidence, I guess, around this, is that the de Roos family is a baron family in England. They have the rank of baron, and it is said that in the year 1264, on Christmas Eve, they were knighted with this title. They were given this baron title. So that's just an interesting coincidence that this ghostly occurrence has happened on Christmas Eve, and it's also a date well before it where the family got its lordly title, its baron title. So just an interesting side thing to the headless horseman of Ruse Hall and his lady that he brings to the ball, to the ball that doesn't happen anymore, I guess. So there you have it. You had the brown lady, and then you have the headless horseman of Ruse Hall. So those are two spirits, both in England. All right, and our third one is also from England. Now, the third one, let me get rid of this first. The third one is called The Phantom Bell Ringer of York. Now, this story takes place in a church. It's St. Crux Church in York, England. Now, let me show you a picture of this place. Also, quite a beautiful structure. built many, many years ago. And over the years, in the 1500s, the 1400s, I believe, actually, it first started. And then tragedy struck it over the years, and it had to be rebuilt and changed. So it's not an original per se structure. There are parts of it that are original, that are 500 years old, but it has changed over the years. But it still maintains its very old classical structure of medieval looking church. Now, the story around this particular church is that as you see the bell tower there, the bell tower in question had the bells removed. Now, prior to the bells being removed, this church, like many others in England, had a tradition of ringing the bells on Christmas Eve, and ringing the bells to sing a melody like a Christmas carol. That's what would happen on Christmas Eve, and the bells would hearken people to come for midnight mass, excuse me, etc. And this went on for a while until during World War II, when the bell tower was damaged beyond, it couldn't, to the point that they decided they were going to remove the bells. So the tower remained, but the bells were gone. So the bells are history, and there currently are no bells in this tower. However, in the year 1952, on Christmas Eve, suddenly the sounds of the bells started ringing through the countryside, and people swore that it came from Crux Church, from St. Crux Church in York. Now, people rushed to the church to see where, what was happening, where was this, and there was nothing there. There was nothing. Once they got there was nothing there. But countless people swore they heard the bells playing Christmas carols on Christmas Eve. And those older folks that were there prior to World War II described it as the actual bell ringing that they heard traditionally at this church. So it was quite a paranormal experience, a widespread paranormal experience in 1952 on Christmas Eve. And it was dubbed the Phantom Bell Ringer. And what's the origin of this? No one really knows. It hasn't happened since. It was a one-time event, and some believe that it was a prior bell ringer that a prior bell ringer spirit that had manifested and came to life. It's something he did every Christmas Eve. Other people think it was just a residual history repeating itself, hearkening back to days of glory of the church. I don't know. Your guess is good as mine, but it only happened once, but it was quite a powerful experience that so many people encountered it. So from that concern, from that angle, it's quite interesting to me that there was this widespread paranormal experience with unrelated people in the countryside hearing the bells only in Christmas Eve 1952. So very, very cool. Cool story. No, Dom, it wasn't decommissioned, but the bells were gone. There were no bells there. So it was still operating as a church, and it still operates as a church today, but there were no bells to be heard. I mean, there were no bells to ring on Christmas Eve. And yet in that year, there were bells ringing. So quite an interesting phenomenon, I would say. Okay. Hello, Honeybee. Good to see you. I think I said hello to Deb Roberts before. If not, hello, Deb Roberts. Send James on a treasure hunt? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he'd like to do that, but yeah, that would be interesting if he'd be willing to do that. I'd love to see those firsthand pictures that he takes. He would take by being there. That's nothing can beat that. So, all right. Now, the fourth and final story of the evening is the caroling spirit of the Hotel Bethlehem in Bethlehem, PA. So we're leaving England. We're coming to the colonies across the pond, and we're in Pennsylvania. Hello, Patty. Good to see you. Now, let's start off by taking a look at what the Hotel Bethlehem looks like. The Hotel Bethlehem coming up. Here is your Hotel Bethlehem. Still a mighty building, quite a big building, old building. I mean, it's been redone over the years. It's been maintained and redone, but it originated in the 1800s, late 1800s. And it's an operating hotel to this day. So people can go and stay here and in the Bethlehem Hotel. Now, the story of the caroling spirit takes place here in the main lobby or the parlor or whatever you want to call it of the hotel, where there is a piano and a fireplace, and it's decorated for Christmas, and plenty of seats for people lounge around and poinsettias. So it's decorated beautifully for Christmas. And the story goes that on Christmas Eve, and even beyond that, this isn't just a Christmas Eve story. This is a Christmas season story. So this will happen throughout the Christmas season. So right now it could happen that a woman by the name of Mary Yole, who was born in 1866, she was a famous stage performer at the time, and she performed in Paris and throughout Europe, and had quite a notoriety at the time. She was a famous performer, singer, pianist, etc., entertainer. And it is said that she married an English lord. And this English lord swept her off her feet, until such time as she grew bored with him. He was much older than she was. So she divorces him. So she originally marries him. She divorces him and runs off, while she's in England with him. She runs off with an American soldier that was there during the, no, this was prior to World War One. So, but there was an American soldier that was in England for some reason. I don't know why. So she runs off with him and she returns to the States. Now, she was quite wealthy on her own. So she didn't marry her first husband for money because she was a famous singer. She had the money on her own. So, but unfortunately for her, this soldier was not a good guy. He was a gold digger, I guess. And he ended up squandering most of her wealth away while they were married. And it is said that she ended up dying destitute because of that. Now, the height of her fame was in the late 1800s. So she was born in 1866. So in the late 1880s or early 1890s was her height of her popularity when she was in her early 20s and into her early 30s. And she it is said that she loved at the Bethlehem Hotel, that she loved performing here most often. So because of that, it is said that it's believed that her spirit dwells here. And throughout the Christmas season, which was one of her favorite times of year, she loved to do performances during the Christmas season. She will appear, her spirit that is, will appear at the piano singing Christmas carols. Or her spirit will also be seen pacing near the hotel's big Christmas tree in their lobby. So, but she will be dressed in period dress, late 1800s, 1890s, that type of period dress. But interestingly enough, they will see her seated at the piano playing a Christmas carol and singing a Christmas carol. And the interesting part about this is that some people hear the carol, some people don't. Some people just see her there, while other people will hear the caroling and hear the piano playing. So it's a different experience for different people when they encounter this spirit. Some see her, some just hear her. But one thing is for sure, it's always during the Christmas season, and it's always Christmas music that she's playing and singing. Something that she loved to do, that she carried on into the afterlife. So a nice little story, even though she died destitute. I mean, that's the bad part of the story, I guess. But she's a positive spirit, trying to spread the Christmas cheer as she always has, as she did during her lifetime. It's presumed during her lifetime, and she's doing it at the place that she loved to perform the best, which was the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania hotel. So, and she was from Pennsylvania originally. I kind of left that out before she became famous, so that also kind of harkens her back to the land of her origins as a spirit. Hello, Kelly. How are you? Good to see you. All right, so that's your fourth and final story. So you had the caroling spirit of the Bethlehem Hotel. We had the phantom bell ringer of St. Crux Church in York, England. We had the headless horseman of Roos Hall, and we had the brown lady of Rainham Hall. So those are your four Christmas-related ghost stories. First installment. We have two more installments coming in the coming weeks, Lenny. What do you think? You excited? I think you are. Can't wait for it. All right. Let's get rid of this. Stop sharing that. All right. Now we have 17 people in the chat. Now we have 17 people after I'm done with my stories. Anyway. All right. Now let's go on to our next segment here. All right, let's do it. We only have 4 things to look at tonight, and no videos, just pictures this time. So tell me what you think. Todd Father, if you want to come up, you're sure welcome to. I'll put the link in the chat. There it is. It's in the chat. And like I always say, guys, if you want to support the show, please consider becoming a member. That's helpful. Remove the star. Remove this. We'll remove this. Okay. Very good. All right. We'll remove that. I'll remove this. And we'll be ready to go. All right. So, Todd Father, if you are coming up, the link is in the chat. Now, let's start this off. Now, the first one we're going to talk about relates to an actual story. So, this is kind of cool. It relates to our first story, the Brown Lady. Now, I told you about the Brown Lady of Rainham Hall and the backstory. Well, someone took a picture of her. At least they believe it's a picture of her. So, we're going to look at that picture right now and see what it is. Hello. Oh, thank you, Patty. Thank you so much for gifting that membership. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know who received it, but let me see. Hopefully, it's someone.
Good evening.
Hello. Hopefully, it's some of the regular. It's a regular here, and not some random person that never comes. Let's see here. Let's see who got it. Muggsy Siegel. I didn't even know Muggsy Siegel subscribed to the show, but he got the membership. Okay. All right.
I think he's a famous lurker.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool.
That's cool.
All right. So let's do this. Now, Todd Father, the first story I don't think you were here for was the Brown Lady. This is a picture that someone took of her. She is a woman that was locked away in this hall her whole married life until the point where she died of a mysterious disease, and now is lurking about and only appears on Christmas Eve. So someone has said to have taken a photo of her. So we're going to look at that photo right now. All right, now here is the photo. Now this is a very old photo. This was taken in the 30s. Now it's clearly an image of some type of spirit. Clearly an image of, you could see that. You could see that it's something like that. And it's during a time period where it wasn't so easy to fake these photos. So I don't know. This looks kind of convincing to me.
Yeah. This is better than a lot of them that you've put up here. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, one might ask, why are they taking a picture of the stairs? You know what I mean? That could be it. Why are they taking a picture of the stairs? And this comes up. I don't know. I don't know what the background is to this photo. It could be just they're photographing the manor. I don't know. But
Osad is in the back.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. I don't know if I was invited, but I invited myself.
No, you're welcome. You are welcome, of course.
Yeah, I'm super excited you're here.
So what do you think of this one?
Well, I'll tell you a true story. When my grandmother died, my mom told me one day that she was walking down the stairs. She came home from lunch and she felt something like a person was walking up the stairs and bumped into her.
Really?
And it actually like moved her shoulder. Yeah, my mom told me the story. And it was right after my grandma died. And my grandma lived with me when she died.
Mm-hmm.
She had cancer. This was back in 2005.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with that person on the steps, but.
Well, the person that this is supposed to be is the brown lady. She was a shut-in the manor by her husband for many years, who was quite mad, and she died in the house. She died of a disease that they couldn't diagnose at the time. So quite a sad story. And now she wanders this manor on Christmas Eve specifically. Why Christmas Eve specifically, I don't know, but she's only seen on Christmas Eve.
Well, I always feel like the creepiest part of a house, like the part that I'm gonna get creeped out the most about, is always the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
You know what I mean? Like stairs leading. I don't know, because you just don't know what's upstairs. You don't know what's downstairs. There's something about the stairs. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I could see that. So Honeybee
or you
says,
could
looks
take
like
a tumble on the stairs.
Looks like, yeah, that's true. You can die on the stairs pretty easily. Johnny it says it's just strangely lit.
It is a really cool picture either way.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what you mean. You see the glare. You mean the glare on the stairs? Mm-hmm. I think it's natural light though, because it's an old English manor, and there was probably a skylight over the stairs, which was quite common, or a big glass window. And I think there were glass windows in this, because I showed you the picture of them. But that could be it. I don't know. But
well, it's easily faked, but it's 100% believable as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Handrails aren't symmetrical. What is McHugh talking about? This is not an AI,
a different way, Don.
This is not an AI photo. This is a photo taken from the 1930s. It's not a modern photo at all.
Tilt your phone 5 degrees to the right, Don. It'll be symmetrical.
The Munster. Yes, you know what, Honeybee? That does look like the Munster stairs. Like the the stairs would come up and spot the monster would be underneath there. The dragon would be under the monster stairs. That's a good observation. It does look like that. So yeah, so it's an interesting one.
I'm not real to
I like these old photos. I love these old photos more than anything else.
Yeah, it's a great photo. I'm not willing to say that it's haunting though myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, so that's the brown lady, and that was pretty cool. It's related to one of the stories too. Not too often can I find that a photo that goes with one of the stories. So, okay, yeah, Honeybee, I like the monsters too. I love that show. I loved that show. I used to watch it on reruns all the time when I was a kid. Get home from school and watch it all the time. All right, let's see here. Let's get rid of this. And let's go on to our next one. Now, the next one, also an old photo. So cool from that angle. And I don't have much around this other than the fact that it's a Christmas photo taken also in the 30s. And I'll show you, what is the problem or what's the issue with this photo in a second here. Hold on. Okay. Now, you see the Christmas tree. You see the woman standing next to the Christmas tree holding the picture. Look to her right of her head, if you can. Do you see something unusual there?
No.
To the right of her head.
Well, I see something, but it just looks like it looks like a pumpkin or something. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, like there is a face to the right of her head.
Can you zoom in?
Let me see. I don't know how to do that on this. Let me see. Can I do that? Let's see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Maybe I can.
Oh, I can do it on my phone too.
Now you see it? Do you see it over here? You see it next to her face now?
On the right side of her head, or so?
Yes.
So our left.
Yeah, our left, the right side of her
Oh,
face. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So our left.
So our
yeah.
left.
Yeah.
I see it now. I was looking the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
Yep,
like
I
the
see
guy
it now.
from the Goodfellas picture. The one dog faces this way, the other faces that way.
There's no beard though. I don't see the beard on this guy. But I don't know how you could. I don't know. I mean, obviously it can be faked, but I don't know what this signifies. You know what I mean? Like it looks like could it be her reflection is my question, because you could see there's a hairline there, right? There's a hairline. The nose kind of looks like her nose. Could it be some type of weird reflection of her, or and like in the negative, like something, like a double negative or something in developing film? I don't know, but I definitely see a face.
People are saying it's a picture on the wall, like they see a frame.
Well, I don't
And
see a
she's
frame
also
at all.
holding it. Huh?
She's holding a picture. She's holding a framed picture. I don't see a picture. I don't see a frame at all around that face. I see hair, like hair above it, but I don't see a squared frame at all.
I don't know. Maybe it's just somebody's head behind her who's helping her decorate the tree, that it just didn't come out well.
It could be someone standing behind the tree. Yeah, could be. Yeah.
That's the best I got.
Interesting. You see this has nothing to do with the ghost stuff of it, but you see the old switch light there. You ever see that, like the old switch lights that they would turn with a that's how they turn the lights on and off in the 30s. It's like a round thing. We have just a switch. They had like a round thing you turn, which I thought was kind of cool in here. Let me see if I can zoom out again.
I
Let's
just think
see.
it's somebody behind her that it just didn't develop.
What's cool about this picture too is that there's actual lit candles on the Christmas tree, right? Like they
Oh,
used to do
that's
before electricity.
oh, that sounds safe.
Yeah, well, not very safe, but that's what they used to do, right?
Really?
Before electricity, they'd put candles on the Christmas tree.
We're gonna have to ask Thenu about that. He was around back then.
Yeah. And the tinsel, yeah, the honeybee, yes, the tinsel thrown on onto the tree. Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So there you go. So that's the random face there behind her, which it could be someone standing there that didn't. You're right, the picture didn't come out fully, or it could be a reflection of some type. Because to me, it looks like her nose is it's like the same as her nose. So, or maybe it's a relative of hers. That's why the nose is the same. I don't know. All right, let's get rid of that. What's going on with this? Why won't this go down? What is going on here? Oh, I see why. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get out of there. Where did we go? Osada vanished. Where'd he go?
Couldn't tell you. I
Hmm.
don't know. Maybe he had a customer. I don't know if he's out tonight or
Oh,
what.
he's out selling tonight. Could be.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, Zelda's here. I didn't know Zelda was here. I'm
All
sorry, I
right.
missed
Nobody
him.
will notice he's not here. So
Yeah, no one will notice Osada. That's true. I kicked myself out. Oh, okay. You want me to put it back in? But I think the link is still there. But if you kicked yourself out on purpose, that's fine. I didn't know if you did it by accident. Oh wait, it's not here. All right, I'll put it back in, just in case. Let's see. There we go. There it is. All right. Now let's go on to our next one. Now our next one is not a ghost thing at all. Wait a minute. If this is where is it? Yeah, the next one is not a ghost thing really. It's just a weird thing, a weird picture. So you tell me what you think. You tell me how you think this could happen. I don't have an explanation for this. Hold on, Osada. Here we go. Let me get you in here. There we go. He's back. All right.
All right, my bad.
Now let's now look at this picture of this baby. This baby is up against a mirror. And the mirror image, the baby's eyes are open. But the actual image, the baby's eyes are closed. Osada kicked himself out again.
he was zooming in. Yeah, that's what he said. He was zooming in.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what this could be.
I mean, the hand matches as he's touching the mirror. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a trip.
Like it's not ghost related at all. It's just bizarre. Like I don't get it. I don't get how this could happen. Now I'm looking at I was thinking like the hand of the guy of the father holding the kid. Is it different in the mirror image than it is in the actual image? I'm trying to see if it's the same or if it's a little different.
Yeah, it looks the same.
It looks the same, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because of the wrinkle. Like you see the guy's pinky under the wrinkle.
Yep.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know.
But it looks like his thumb, the baby's thumb, when his eyes are closed, they're pushed against another piece of glass. Like,
oh, I know what you're saying. Yes, like there's a piece of glass between us and the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with this. Huh.
I mean, it's only that digit though that's touching it. Could be twin kids. I don't know.
Twins. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, yeah. But then the pic. That's why I was. That's why I was trying to think. Are the hands different? Because if it was twins, right, the hands would be different. Like, if someone put two babies up to each other with their hands like this, I would say that it's but the hand looked the same.
Don says that the forehead and the hair is different. I don't think. I don't know.
No, remember, Don, when you're looking in a mirror, it's going to be the opposite. So I see that little piece of hair is going to the left,
Pearl, yeah.
right, and it's the opposite on the other kid in the mirror. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on with this.
Yeah, that one's a trip.
Zelda thinks it's twins. If it was a clear piece of glass and two people were holding it, you could do it with twins. If that's a clear piece of glass there and two people were holding the babies, you could do it with twins.
The other way you could do it too is it's a legitimate photo. They just photoshopped a head of that same kid with his eyes open over.
Yeah, that's true, right? They could do that.
That's what I could do that within like 3 seconds. That would be something I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that. I feel like the baby with the eyes open. You can see the guy in the upper right there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're looking out toward the other. Like, how would you get that? How would that mirror? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like how?
It's just the angle.
Yeah, no, I know. I just still can't even picture the angle though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I wish I had something, I know this exists and I don't have it, but I wish I had something that could tell me if something is doctored. Like they have software that will analyze a photo and say, it's been AI altered or what have you. But I don't have
I wonder
that.
if ChatGPT can do it. They might be able to do it a little bit. I'll see.
Huh. I'll try that. I'll try that then next time. I'll try it with ChatGPT and see if it can do it.
I was watching, just scrolling through YouTube this morning, and that scene from The Shining just happened to pop up for some reason. The little boy going through the hallways, and he stops at room 237, and then he sees the two twins. Man, it still freaks me out. I had to turn it on. It's like
that is the creepiest. That is probably one of the creepiest movies I ever watched in my life. That really, and that's still, you're right. It still creeps you out when you see it. The music and everything while you're watching it, the whole thing creeps you out.
I have never seen it.
You've never seen it? You got to see it. You got to see it, Todd.
Yeah,
you got to see that movie.
You got to watch it. It's still scary today.
How about that? Like the ghosts of like the creepy. I don't know if they're gay guys or what they are. Like in costumes. Osada, when he sees the ghosts. There's like one point where he sees them. They're like, one's like dressed like a pig, and the other one is in a tuxedo, and it was just so creepy. It was just so creepy.
So yes, the whole thing. Oh, that's been some years since I've seen it. But the other scene that it showed too was he was at the bar talking to the bartender. And he's like, "I don't have any money on me. Is my credit good?"
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Your money's no good here, Mr. Torrance.
Yeah. Man, what a creepy movie.
All right, so let's get off this here. I don't know what this is. It's just an anomaly, possibly. Could be faked, or it could just be, some type of weird anomaly. I don't know.
I think it's the one that we spent the most time kind of like perplexed about.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all, you know what I mean? It's a well done photo.
All right. Now the last one I have here. is, let's see, where is it? All right, I'm going to have to enlarge this one, but I'm going to try my best to enlarge it because the ghost figure is farther down. It's a photo of a hotel hallway. So the ghost is farther down, and I'm going to try to enlarge it to make it a little bigger. Here, hold on. All right, now this is the lobby. Right.
Oh, that looks like the hallway right there.
Like the shining hallway a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, do you see? Looked all the way down the hallway to the right of the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Let's see if I can go any more.
Is that
Then
my
it
alarm?
kind of goes out of the picture here if I go too far. Hold on.
I have to go, guys. I got to go
All
do
right.
my laundry. Change
Yep.
my laundry. Sorry,
Thanks for
guys.
coming up.
All right. Yeah, it's like a silhouette figure.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dress. It kind of looks like a woman in a morning dress type of thing from old times. I have no background on this either, other than that this is a historical hotel, a very old hotel. You can tell by the antiques that are there. But I'm not sure, what else I could say about this because I don't have any background on it.
The carpet could use a good cleaning.
Yeah, well, yeah, look at that. Well, that's because it's original, right? They're not going to do anything to it. They're going to keep it as is. So I don't know if that's water stain or what the heck that is. I don't know what that is, but there's definitely something there. The question is, what is that? Is it the doctor? I don't know if this is doctor because I don't have any information as to when it was taken, the time period, or anything like that. It looks like a digital photo to me, so it's probably easier to do. But there's definitely something there.
It's a digital photo, or is it something that was?
Well, I think it's a
printed?
digital photo. I don't know because it doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like it's. Like an analog photo to me. I don't know. I just thought it was a digital photo. I don't have that. I don't know that for a fact.
But that's neat, though. I mean, think about it, though. I mean, back in the day, you used to wait. Sometimes, well, they started doing the 1 hour before it was 24 hours develops, and sometimes it would take longer than that to get your pictures back. Imagine getting something like that.
Yeah, right.
Like you wait, you're waiting, and then all of a sudden you see that, and you're like, "Oh, what was?"
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So that, it could be. You never know.
Right, honeybee. She looks like she's veiled. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
You're right. Veiled. Yep. Zelda says a skeleton with a veil. Yeah, it could be that. Yep. Yeah, it's a creepy photo. Whatever it is definitely a creepy photo. And like when they in the beginnings of photographs, like when they first were doing photographs in the 60s, I'm sorry, 60s, in the 1800s, you'd see a lot of stuff like this because they were, like people would move, like you had to stand still. And if you didn't stand still, you'd look like a ghost. You had to be perfectly still. And that's why in those very old pictures, people don't smile because they'd have to hold a smile for like 2 minutes straight or something, or 3 minutes straight. So they would just look, they'd look straight ahead. But if people moved, they would come out looking like a ghost because it'd be a blur. So I wonder if that's something like, if that's something here like that, like a blur,
And you could see right through, or
Well,
you might have a point there, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, because remember, if you're moving, right? The camera is exposed for that period of time, right? So when you move, it's still taking its picture. It's taking its picture of what's behind you because you moved. So it creates the image of that you're see-through because you started here and you moved over here, right? And the background is, you see the background and you just see the blur. So it kind of looks like a ghost. So, oh, thank you, Tammy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you.
No, good looks, Tammy.
I didn't even know you were here. I usually call you out. I didn't know you were here, Tammy.
She was late.
Ah, okay. Well, can always go back and listen. Um, yeah, honeybee. Yeah, I wonder what happened to her groom. Yeah, assuming she's a bride. I'm assuming she's a bride and not a, someone who's mourning a death. It could be that too. I don't know. But
Now,
anyway,
do you
that's.
Oh, good. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No. What were you
No,
gonna
I
say?
was gonna say, like, I mean, do you tend to see ghosts more at night, or during the day? I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
always growing up or whatever, you think ghosts come out at night. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean I think they say at night you see them more because of the the ability to draw. Like the theory is that they draw on energy, they draw on, and it's quiet and it's like there's less things happening, so they have the ability to draw on energy and manifest. I think that's the theory. I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah, there's sightings in the day, like what, like the this one's in the day. If this is real, I don't know. But then
Right.
there was also the Gettysburg ones, which really looked real to me. The Gettysburg ones were in the day. With those soldiers crossing the road, like that was, it was dusk, but it was still light out. It wasn't dark. So
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
seen
know.
Gettysburg over the summer. I didn't encounter anything like that, but it was still pretty. It's pretty. It was a lot to take in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you saw. Were you on the show when I showed the video of the Gettysburg soldiers walking across the?
I'm.
You
I
must have
think
been.
I'm not. I'm really not
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty convincing video. They were just taking a video of like I don't know what part of the battlefield it was, but it was like a long open field, and on one side there was like vegetation, and on the other side there was vegetation, and you see them walking across this, like the open area, to go from the one vegetation to the other area. So yeah, Gianni was there. Gianni remembers. Yep. Yeah. So there you go. So that's all I had for this evening. And just as an advertisement, next, two more Fridays of Christmas ghost stories, because I was surprised that there were that many, quite frankly, but there are. So cool stuff as we go into the holidays here.
yeah, sorry I'm so quiet. I've been at work like all week. Like I haven't taken like any days off. Like I'm just and I
Spent
got
at this point.
yeah, pretty much. And I got two. There's a all day long Bills player signing tomorrow, and then we have the home game on Sunday morning here at 1. But we're there early in the morning, and yeah. So
Well, I don't think yeah, no, absolutely. I understand that completely. Those bill signing days must be a zoo.
it's just a lot of you can't do this, you can't do that. You
Yeah.
got to be careful of this, careful. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like having
This nothing could be more Christmassy than my candle here, my Scrooge candle here. Holder.
There you go. I'll take it.
And I got this at a estate sale, believe it or not, from the house next door to me.
Oh, cool.
The guy had died, and the kids came and put everything on the front lawn. And
You don't see it like floating across the room at some point, do you?
no, 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 it's not
Like
haunted.
trying to
Not
return it
haunted.
back, trying to return the candle back to their house.
No, nothing like that has happened. That would be cool if it did. I would put a camera on it and watch it. But
So did you go shopping for those hats for Lenny and the other guy there?
I don't know where they came from. They've been around. They were in with the Christmas decorations, so I pulled them out.
The bird doesn't have one.
No, I need a tiny one for the bird. Yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday I was at a networking meeting, and it was at a senior home, and there was a guy there, and he was playing the piano throughout the whole thing, and he looked like he had like a nutcracker suit on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then so he stopped playing the piano, and then a bunch of us got up. They give you like an infomercial. You could speak for like a minute or whatever, talk about your business and what you do. And then when that was all over with, he hits play on this tiny little boom box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then busts out this violin, and this guy must have been a professional at some
Really?
point. Yeah, he was great. But
So
the
he's a
best part
resident
about it,
there. He was a resident
yeah,
there.
yeah, he lived there, yeah.
Oh wow.
And so we're all sitting at the tables, like talking amongst ourselves, and he was going from table to table with the violin. So he comes up, and I'm telling you, he was about 1.5 feet staring me dead in the eye, playing the violin. I was so uncomfortable. And then when he stopped, when he was done with the song, he would just stare at everybody, and all of a sudden, everyone's like, like laughing. I
Maybe
don't
he was
know.
looking
I
for
had
a
a
tip. Maybe he was looking for
yeah.
tips.
I've had a week. That's all I can say, and it's not even over yet. So,
So was
but
he wearing? He was wearing like a nutcracker outfit. You said was.
yeah, he had like black pants on, like
Mhm.
a red coat and like frilly
Mm,
shirt. Like,
nice.
yeah, he was into it, and he was good. I will give him that. He was great.
Was he playing
So
Christmas songs,
yeah,
or
yep,
he was okay?
sure was.
Sure, he was
But
real and not a spirit. Maybe it was a spirit. You never know that.
oh, if there's any place that would be haunted, it might be that place. That's for sure. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was neat.
that's funny. That's cool.
I was so tempted to break out my phone, but
Mm.
I don't know the way he was like looking at everybody. I don't know. He might have taken the phone and smashed it or something. He was into it, man. He really was.
Yeah,
But
well, you know.
I wish I had a quarter of his talent. That's for sure.
Mm.
So
Well, he must entertain everybody there. They must love him there.
yeah, or they're probably sick of him by now.
Yeah, too. Yes, that too. If he's going up to people and playing in their faces, that's
He
not too
really
good.
was like me. I don't get uncomfortable very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like right up in there, and I'm like, all right, man, okay, when are you gonna back up? It was funny. But
Yep.
all right.
All right. Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate you
coming up.
having me up.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, thank you
And
for helping me go through these.
yep,
And,
I'm sure I'll be in touch soon. Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend. Rock and roll, and that's all I got.
all right.
All right,
Thank
see you
you
guys.
again. Bye-bye.
Yep.
All right, everyone. So that's the show. We had 4 Christmas ghost stories, and we've got more to come next week and the week after. So come back next Friday. Hit the like button on the way out. That's always cool. Become a member if you want to support the show. The same old blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. And try out that hype button thing if you can. If you remember, after the show is done, I don't know how long, when it's on replay, you can hype the show. And that's supposed to give it hype points. And if it gets enough points, the algorithm will point it out, push it out. Who the heck knows? I don't know. But it's worth a shot. So thank each and every one of you for stopping by and spending some time with me on this cold and chilly Friday Christmas season. And we'll see you next time on The Guild. Have a blessed week, everyone.